Welcome back to the operating system series, and in this video I am adding a dynamic menu system to the operating system. And what does that mean? Well, let me show you what I built. So I haven't seen it yet, so we're going to see it together. Let's boot up the virtual machine here. This is a 86 box with an IBM XT with 256 kilobytes of RAM. And what we're going to show is now every single application is going to have its own menu. And this is important because as I added a file system last video, for FAT16 and FAT12 support, I wanted to make sure that we could have a way to load and save files, and also perform other, build more comprehensive applications, more powerful applications. So, well, as you can see here, if I go to the disk, this is starting to look more like a file manager. So we have files, which can have icons or list view. You can refresh, which reloads the disk's content. And this is important if you change disks or something like that. Then they'll go. Now, instead of having a finder, we have a locator. So that's the locator. It's the main desktop. And we have, file, special, like we had before. We have our little chip icon, chip menu. That's what we're calling it, or me. And we have our clock over here. That still works. If I load control panel, it loads the control panel. All right, so now let's say that I want to go to the notepad. I go to the notepad. Now you see, notepad has its own menu. And it has a file menu, which new, open, save. So I'm going to go, hello, this is a file that I am hopefully going to be able to save. All right, I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to save this to drive B here. It'd be nice if I could create folders. Maybe right-click support is something I should add. Let me just do that. Let me write that down. Right-click support. Support for the file system manager locator in order to make folders. All right, so like a context menu. All right, so back to the video here. every single video leads to some other idea, some other thing. I think this is like a never-ending project. It's one of those, but we're gonna find an end to it. So if I hit save, oh, it says write protected. How do I do? I guess I have to figure out now how do I unwrite protect this thing? Like, well, what's going on? Let me see here. Let me see. When I try to save a file to drive B in the emulator, it says that the disk is write protected. Is that an issue with the emulator or the operating system? It might be that our emulator is set up to only allow read-only for this media. So let me see, floppy, tools, settings. Let me see. Storage, floppy. Okay. It doesn't seem like it's a audio. Panasonic 80 track. That's weird. Turbo timings. Turbo, check BPS. It doesn't look like we have anything, but if I do RTC, all right, I can mess with that later. All right, for now, it's not the OS. I see. All right, so maybe the emulator will need to be changed here. So let's okay, so it looks like oh, it's write protect. You see that right there? It was write protected. So I can go ahead and not make it write protected. And the thing with this is that I have to be careful that I don't check in random junk if I save stuff to those images. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure that everything here is in a PR. So the boot floppy is write protected, and the second disk is not write protected. Push all these changes to a PR. All right, so let me do that. Now, if I reboot this, now I should be able to save something. Now, is there a file dialog that was created? Very unlikely. So we'll probably run into some issues there. I wonder if it's going to ask me for a file name or if it's just going to have like a hard-coded file name. If it has a hard-coded file name, then we know what we have to do next, which is a file dialog that can be reused by applications. So we'll probably do that as we boot the machine. So let me go here and is there a file dialog box that in the operating system that can be used by all applications trying to load and save files? All right, so I'll do that. Now this is booted over here, and we have disk B now. Oh, sorry, I captured the mouse. And disk B, and we have Notepad. And hello, this is a test of writing a. All right, let me resize the window. A file to disk. All right, so now we're gonna go to File, Save. It still says write protected. Is it trying to save to the A drive? New file. All right, we're gonna need to. It's probably trying to save to the A drive, which is still write protected. All right. Let me go ahead and see if adding a file dialog revert, because my edit and the commit is on keys on that blah blah, and I was on to, so I left the PR therefore. And the file dialog, no, there isn't one. Nothing in the OS, so there's no one. The file surface package is getting its entire name base, all 5 slots, blah blah. And so the notepad doesn't ask you for a file. It has app name db notes baked in, and this new file save act on that one file, save for every other package. So there's also a hard gap underneath. The package cannot enumerate directory at all. Our kernel internal and no API slots expose them. So it's on to picker today. A shared dialog would have to live in the kernel, or a listen slot would have to be added there before. The architecture does allow it though. The obvious objection is that a model dialog needs to block while the user picks, and window callbacks are one-shot calls under the graphics log. It runs the whole interaction underneath the hell, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Build it as a, let me see, then writing an open file menu to use it. Yes, build it as a reusable dialog that all applications and the kernel can use if managing files. All right, this is good. We're gonna have like a proper dialog for opening and saving files, and obviously that's important because I want to be able to choose the drive. I want to be able to choose the drive where I'm saving, specify a file name, and any other, and I also want to be able to create folders. How about that? What else is good to have in those Yeah, I think so. So let's leave this running here, and then through the power of editing, we'll come back in a moment. All right, I'm doing a quick check-in because I'm building out a basically a file manager with multiple window support and everything, and it's taken so far 2 hours and almost a million tokens. So this is really using a lot of AI. We'll see how. Hopefully, this succeeds. I think it will. My usage right now. Let's see how my usage is doing. I still have headroom. I'm using Opus because my Fable model usage is already at 97% used, and I have 40% left for my week. And it is Friday, and it resets on August. And Fable also requests on August on this Sunday. So I think I'll be good. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, in about another hour or so, I will have a working file manager. So let's give this some more time, and then we'll check in when it's done. All right. So this took 5 hours to build, and now we have proper file system support, I think. So if we come up here, it'll say that it took. Let me see. Where is that? 5 hours and 5 minutes to build a PR that has a file manager and has a bunch of tools built in. So I haven't run it yet, so we're gonna do that together, and let's do that right now. I have no idea what to expect here, but let's see. All right, moment of truth. Kernel is much bigger now, so it's taking a while to load. All right, here we go. Okay, so we have locator. Everything looks the same there. Everything looks the same there. Everything looks the same there. So now if I open the disk drive, I have icons or list view, but I should be able to now open another instance of this. I guess I'm not able to open another instance of that. Huh. What happens in Notepad? All right, so I'm gonna be able to. I should be able to save with a new dialog box. Hello, this is a test document. So if I go to File, Save, what is going on? Am I in the wrong branch? Let me see. No? Doesn't. How do I test the file manager functionality? Well, this is frustrating. What's going on? So wasn't segmented, blah blah. Tools to folder. Make. What happens if make build? Make and make run. Okay, make run. All right, this is weird. Okay, I mean, make xt. I'm gonna let that boot while this explains. So interactive, make run. Then double click the disk behind that's the file manager. The bar becomes locator, file, folder, view, special. Worth, okay, so multi-window, select a folder, open a new window, okay. Both should be painting their own contents. That's the whole point of review. Up to 4 windows, okay. File, new folder. Okay, so I should be able to do a new folder and rename, delete, context menu, right click on a file row, a folder row, an empty space, 3 different item lists. Oh, new folder N. Okay. So let's see. So if I go to the B drive, okay, file, folder, new window, view as list. Okay, so view, folder. What is a root folder? Oh, that's the root of the disk that I'm in. Okay, so if I go to new folder, let me see if this gives me new folder, then I can, oh wait, new folder, docs, write protected. Why is that write protected? All right. All right, let me see. Drive B is still write protected. All right, so let's see what's going on here. All right, I think I found the problem. Problem was that I previously had placed drive B as a read-write drive, but as soon as I closed 86 box that was already running with it write protected, it wrote the configuration change over back to being write protected. So if I now go here and I go to new folder and type in, oh, that's annoying, docs, it should, oh, it created a docs folder. There you go. And now I can click into it. And is that a new window or no? It's the same one. Oh, now it's a docs thing. If I click on this B, yeah, so now I can have multiple windows. So I have docs, but I don't have any navigation. All right, so what happens if I do notepad and I go, hello, this is a test. Does it show me a dialog? Save. Saved notes.txt. Where? All right. What about it saved it there, but that's not what I wanted. All right, so if I go here and I reopen Notepad and I go to File, Open. Oh, it's hard-coded in there. All right, so now we got to build a file saving, file loading dialog, a file chooser. And then if I go here, oh, right click, you see? And I go down to delete, enter yes. There you go. And if I go here, I can choose to rename. Oh, R is refresh, but if I go rename, document, let me see. Okay, that works. Now if I reboot, let me shut down the machine and reboot here. I should be able to see the document in there. All right. And I go to disk B. Yeah, look at that, the folder. So what I gotta do now is I have to make a file choosing dialog that the notepad can open. All right, I think that should be easy. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna cut this video here since it's already gotten pretty long and it's not it's not very well organized, I'm sure. But I'm gonna stop it here and upload it and then move on to the dialogue next. Thank you for watching.